All right, I hate making these type of videos. Um, 3 accounts gone. So we did have 3 accounts gone. Two were the ones we were copy trading. Blew those during the Asia session. And then eventually we bought another one. We blew that one. And then eventually this morning, basically you see these 2 accounts. We blew them yesterday during Asia session. Let's go to the trades real quick over here on this. All right, here we go. I got it. All right, so here's the trades we took. We bought and then eventually we sold on this trader here. You can see market went down, stopped us out. So yeah, it was a 5-minute inversion for rally up here. I thought ES, was gonna push up higher. We had a change in state right there. I thought the market this was gonna be the low instead of the 1 hour for rally up, push up higher. Never happened. We eventually bought another one, and with that one we blew it this morning, but we were trading it last night also. So last night again we were taking multiple trades, bro. I hate when I do this, bro, because again, we know it's low probability. We're trading outside of our session. We bought, we got stopped out. We eventually bought again. We sold for a little bit more, and then eventually you see the market was pushing up. We took profit around here, and then eventually we got stopped out at break even, trailing the stop loss. So the account, it wasn't really down that much. Last night we lost 525. Around 1021 we eventually won. Around 400 we're down only $100. And then this morning we came and we lost 50, and then eventually we blew the account. So this morning is where the damage was done. Last night though, we did lose the other account too on the other ones. And it wasn't much of a loss for me and True. It was only like 300 and then 400. But still we were down already 1.5 from the previous day. So that equated to the 4% loss limit. And here was the trade idea for this morning. So we took a buy, and then eventually we got stopped out here off of this inversion. Again, just not really following the system and trading it when it's high probability. And you can see the market came back down, stopped us out, and we bought another one. So after we blew this one, we bought another one. And again, it's just bad. On this one, we first traded him in Q. We took a little W. So we bought down here. We bought this right here, the change in state of delivery, 1 minute inversion, standard deviation targets, boom, we bought, and then we got stopped out, trailing the stop loss right here. The market came and stopped us out. The original target was up here, and we were trading micros. We were aiming for just a 1% day, and eventually the market just boom. Didn't edge my take profit. My take profit was, and our take profit was just a little bit above. It was like right around here, and the market edged us, and it came back and hit us break even. And then eventually we took another trade on NQ, and this one was following the system. So we took a short, and then eventually we got stopped out. So again, this was off a 3-minute confluence here, and we knew instantly that the bias was wrong once we looked at the SMT chart, and we realized that early on that this trade wasn't viable, so we lost. And then eventually we flipped our bias, which again, we should have just been waiting, being patient. And eventually once we saw this form, we entered right around here, stops were right here, and the take profit was like around a 1-to-1 right around here. But then eventually we closed the position because I realized, and I locked the account after this, I realized that from the short and minus 50 now, and I realized bro, I have to control myself. I'm over here taking multiple trades. I told myself I was only going to take one trade a day, trade there in New York, have the system and Confluence play, a factor, and like following it, sticking to the highest probability setups, only taking those. And I'm over here, taking low quality setups, trading there in Asia session, but whenever we're taking the trades and like managing them, we were not emotional. We were pretty stoic. It was just like feeling like control, and we weren't able to control the urge to enter at the right time and like waiting for the system to be high probability and to present itself with high confluence, and we just instantly crashed out there, and it was bad. I won't lie, it was bad. I blew through like 150 around there. I'm at 200 now, I guess, because again we had to buy another one, and we're on this one now, and I'm gonna trade this one only. But the thing is, like, we're just super impatient. We're unable to like really wait for a high confluence setup, and whenever we do take trades, we're unable to hold them. This trade would have been a really nice trade to hold. We were just unable to hold it. But I'm kind of glad I closed it because again, I was just being like, the whole day I was just being super emotional, like the night before too. I should have just waited for this trade and just chilled and called it a day. But again, I was just super emotional, super impatient, and I realized I need to end the day here and just call it a day at break even, which we basically did, and just tape read, and really reflect upon what I've been doing and make sure this doesn't happen, honestly. So I hate making these type of videos where, I blow like 3 combines in like one day, one night, one session. It's very, very, it's just like very sad, honestly, to see, because you like the lack of self-control is there. And majority of the time, if you want to be successful, you're going to have self-control and like be able to like understand what you're doing wrong and what you're doing right. So I called it a day here. I'm going to reflect and I'm going to journal majority of the trades here that we took. And we're going to learn from them, honestly. So we get a lot of journaling to do. And again, reflecting on the system, the playbook, learning from the losses here that we took from last night and then the one today. I think these are very important lessons. Whenever you lose, I think it's very, very important. Like yesterday we lost. It was very important. I understand why we lost. And I probably won't be trading tomorrow either. So we'll probably be, reviewing more and probably back testing. But again, it's just really like the lack of self-control whenever we're trading. So I do want to pass these combines pretty quickly. That's why I'm risking so much. But again, we should be risking so much on A+ setups and holding them whenever we're taking the A+ setups. And we know what the A+ setups look like with the playbook, with the trading journal. Whenever we're reviewing the losses, the Hall of Shame, the Hall of Fame, those type of the A+ and then the F tiers. We know what to look for. We know what to avoid. And today, we just lost all sense of what to do, basically. So it was like something got a hold of me, and like it's hard to explain. Like something got a hold of me, and I was just like taking multiple trades. At that point, I lost myself. I was like, I don't care how many combines I've blown. I don't care how many like accounts I go through. Like I just wanna win. And then I came to the realization when I took this trade and I was in profit. I was like, bro, what am I doing? I was like, bro, we need to just close the trade here and like get out of it, and we're breaking our rules. We're not following the system, or we are following the system, but we're breaking the rules. We're taking multiple setups. We're not following the system to like the highest conviction. No, we're not waiting for a certain like SMT correlation or the divergence, and then the market taking in sync to form these type of confluences, and the other market to take it on this one. It was just really, really bad, and that's what happened yesterday too. Like we didn't wait. We weren't patient. We didn't wait for the highest quality setups. We were impatient, and that cost us. And again, today, really the same thing. We were just impatient. We were rushing the results, and that cost us. So, we really need to build upon the patience and just waiting for the highest quality setup. There was nothing there to form for us to have NQ push up higher. And then eventually on the 30-minute, that's where we formed, this right here. And then these formed it right here. So these formed the reversals, and then this one formed the retracement. And that's kind of where my confluence was for this one. On the 3-minute, this inversion, we should have not taken it. Why? Because these were not forming some form of inversion here. They were just moving down lower, sweeping to then eventually push up higher. And I should have been able to anticipate that by looking at the SMT, and I was just so lost. I was so lost in the charts. I was so deep in. I wasn't following the system for that trade, for the short, and I was just so lost. And then last night, last night we were just taking multiple trades over here. Right here, we were taking multiple trades. And yeah, it was just really bad. We swept. We originally took one here. We got stopped out, and then we swept, and then we thought this was going to be the final move. This BPR was going to hold. We were getting chopped inside here, and then we pushed up. We were taking some profit, and then eventually we got stopped out, break even, and then eventually the market moved up and it created that low right here. So this low would have been the low of the day. If we held our stop loss, that would have been, the trade right here. It would have held, pushed up. It would have just basically been the low of the day. We would have caught bottom ticked, honestly. So, yeah, pretty unfortunate. And again, ES2, we were taking this one over here off of this 3-minute BPR. Or originally we were taking it off of this one right here, around here, and we got stopped out. So we just need to really review the trades. So yeah, this was the trade right here. We took it, we got stopped out, and then eventually for NQ, we took another one right here. We took so many trades, and then eventually here was our take profit, and then eventually we got stopped out, break even. Right around here, this is where our stop loss to break even was, and yeah, we got stopped out, break even. And then this was the first trade we took a long. We got stopped out, again off of the inversion, not really a high confluence trade. And then eventually today we took another trade, and that one basically hit for the first one, and then eventually we took a short, and then eventually that lost. So again, we were just trading both sides, bro, and that's not okay. We need to have a bias, or not even have a bias. We need to have like a clear direction or a clear draw on liquidity, what we're aiming for, why we're aiming for it, and following the system, bro. So, and then eventually we took a long. So our take profit was around here, our stop was like right here. So yeah, this is kind of what we're aiming for. Again, the final trade was a good one, but again, I should have not been in the first two. These two right here, I should have not been in those. Those were not following the system, and we should have not been even on this one right here, over here. we took so many trades. We took 4 trades today. Um, we were all over the place. This is not okay, bruh. So like we took 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 longs, 1 short, bro. Final one played out. This one played out. This one played out. This one didn't. This one didn't. And then we took longs last night. Took another long. Then we took another long. It's just sad, bro. Honestly, I can't believe I was doing this, bro. I can't believe I was doing this. Again, lack of self control, lack of following the system, and like being disciplined. And why is this like happening? I'm about to do a deep reflection, and I'm about to try to understand like why is this happening? Why am I like being like so impatient? Why am I not following the system to the tick? What is going on in the back of my mind? Like trading wise, on these combines, there's a lack of self control. We aren't having enough self control, following the system, waiting for it to be high probability, because we know it's high. It's high. We know it's high probability, but we can pattern trade it too, and that's where it gets low probability, because you're not waiting for high quality conviction to build, to then take it. Even last night, we were kind of pattern trading, being hopeful, like that the market was gonna move and push up higher and hit our take profit. But yeah, today was just a crazy day. I'm not trading tomorrow. I'll probably wait till Friday. And again, there's no rush to these accounts. I'm probably gonna stick on one account until I have some sort of self control and just following the system. Again, 1 trade a day, New York session only. Just bad. It was bad today. I won't lie. By far one of my worst days for the month and for the year, honestly. Even during the month of August, we didn't do this. We weren't trading Asia. We weren't blowing through like 3 accounts. And yeah, that's pretty much really it.